Hello friends and followers. Well, finally some good news about Swan number 2 from hell, which may not be from hell after all. I think the final amplifier tubes, the 8950's, are from hell, but this radio, I guess, is not guilty of consummating sins to cause it and me to go to hell, I guess. So anyway, but you never know. I did make this little suppressor to put into the feed line to the grid, and that didn't let 10 and 15 meters work very well. At any rate, it appears the problem with this radio, and I've taken that out by the way, it appears the problem with the radio was indeed the finals, as my friend David in New Jersey wisely suggested I take the finals out of the working Swan, which is Swan number 1, and put them in Swan number 2 here, the Swan from hell, and see what happened. And I did that, and perfect tuning, perfect grid, perfect plate, everything worked perfectly. I simply had to realign all these coils because I had them all aligned with the other finals. So yeah, be warned, if you change the driver tube, and I think if you change the finals, you gotta redo all these coils, just because the impedance will be different with the new tubes. Different capacitances, different inductances, all that stuff. Anyway, this thing is working. I just basically did a brute force tune, you know, following the book here. This chart is indeed useful. I was kind of blowing it off today, but nope, that chart is useful. I just set all the settings on that chart, crank down the power with the carrier here, and then tune away to get the best output with all the coils, the driver, and the mixers, and it all worked out well. So let's set the radio down and I'll show you how good life is in this thing now. So it has, and it's hard to do one hand here without killing myself. Jeez. The worst thing is trying to film and move things around. And what the hell did I do here? All right, maybe it's still alive. Yeah, anyway, I'm on a dummy load now too, just because I wanted to, you know, be precise. And I'm on 10 meters now, and this thing is, it has the GE Compactron tubes from Swan number 1 in there now. And I have my factory type suppressors with the big 47 ohm metal oxide resistor in the inside of that coil, which came with this radio, and that seems to be working fine. So yeah, those were smoking and burning before with those old tubes. So the finals themselves can really cause a lot of problems when they're not functioning correctly, which I found hard to believe, but I guess the more I read, and now from direct experience, I can say, yeah, if your radio doesn't tune up right, and it has harmonics and parasitics, and your parasitic suppressors are burning up, replace the finals. That's a first try. I'm lucky I had Swan number 1 to raid for some finals. Anyway, so you're like, yeah, it's all talk. So I'm on 10 meters now, and let's get to some testing here. All right, suppress the carrier and transmit mode. I got no power, but I can quickly crank up on 10 to almost 200 watts. So that's pretty cool. So that's working well. And if we look at how the thing tunes now, I don't think I have, yeah, so my plate's like way over to one side here. So I don't think that it's tuned up well, but it needs some mucking around with the capacitor here, with inside here, but otherwise it works. So 10 seems pretty friendly now, and the grid, yeah, whoa, now there's still some parasitic crap going on here. Yeah, you can see there's still some, I shouldn't do that. So I still got some problems with parasitics in here. That's no fun. It shouldn't do that. All right, well, I guess I'm not out of the woods, but the new finals are helping. So if we, should put the fan on here, if we go to 20 meters or 15 meters, 15 was like dog dead in this thing, so let's see how this works. Let's back it off. Let's transmit now. Peak our grid for some power. There's the grid peaking up. Dip the plate. There, we got some plate going on here, not much power. Let's crank it up. So, yeah, it'll go. Let's see. This thing's hard to load up on 15 and 10. You have to really fool around a lot with loading on this thing. And I don't like cranking a load when it's when it's fired up keyed, but yeah, you gotta really mess around with the load to get it just right. Okay, there it comes. Anyway, yeah, it'll do, I think almost 200 watts. Let's see if we can get a little higher here. Okay, it wants a little less load here. Click it down, click this up, and try it now. I don't think those are exactly matched as far as overlapping. So I'm seeing about 100 watts here. And I have it cranked down a bit. So I can do 150 watts on there using these GE Compactron tubes out of Swan 1. Let's make sure the grid's peaked. The grid is peaked. Okay, now it's fired up a little bit. Don't want to burn these babies up. Anyway, yeah, probably don't want to burn the tubes up, so let's put the fan on. All right, so 15, yeah, it's working. 20 meters now with the tubes from Swan 1, the Compactron tubes. Let's try this out. So 20 meters. Usually you want to tune this thing for static, so let's try that. See how it has two different areas? That seems bad. It seems bad there's a dip there like that. It shouldn't do that. So I'm thinking that's maybe the problem with the harmonics in this thing. But anyway, the new finals are helpful. The ones I borrowed from Swan number 1. All right, so let's try it out. A little bit of power there. Let's do some carrier here. Get it. All right, let's peak it. All right, I'm getting a good bit of power out right now. Just crank back here. So let's see if this thing's even stable on 20 or not. So I'm watching the meter. It's not wigging out, so it's acting nice and controlled when I rotate the plate and the grid, so it's used to really whack out. So those finals are shot. I guess I gotta load this thing up a little bit. Excuse me. Get a little more power out of it maybe. There we go. 100 watts coming out. There's 150. And okay, it's heading up, heading up, heading up. Pretty much 200 now. This thing though should put up like 100 watts. It's done that before. Let's try that. Oh, there's pretty much. So yeah, it doesn't look like at this power level I'm neutralized. So if you look at the power here in the meter, well, yeah, it's neutralized. I did neutralize it on 20. So I'm getting about 200 watts out now. I'm not getting out 400 like it should do. Let's see, let's load it some more and see if we can squeak out some more power or no. That's all we're gonna get. So why be greedy? Oh, I wasn't cranked up all the way. Okay, full crank. Let's try that. Oh yeah. So give it full strength and it will cruise up to, let's see, we have here 2001 scale. That's about 300 watts. I'm not sure she goes 400, but it's cranking about 500 mils there, so that's a little dangerous. Let's see if we can crank it back a little bit. Crank it back and just do it carefully. Okay, that's about 300 mils. Even 300 mils though could wet plate on these 8950's. Okay, hit it. That will give us what? Top scale 250. Let's crank it back a bit. Repeat it. Let's hit it. That's even lower. So let's give it some more. Click a load here. A little more load. Okay, now we're on the highest load scale possible. Let's see what this does. Nothing there. Okay, let's crank it up. Nothing. Too much load. Go back. Actually, I'm on the high scale, so maybe that was good. Yeah, I'm on the 2001 scale, so that's 100 watts. Let's see. Crank it and see how that works. Let's see what we can get. 2000 watt scale. That's not bad. So I'm cranking here. Let's see. Well, not 400, not 250. So yeah, it's not in prime shape, is it? Anyway, I still want to get it 300 out of it. Can I do that? Let's go like this, go on low scale. Try and get 300. I doubt I'm going to get it. A little more load. That's too much load. Back it off. There we go. I'm just watching the power meter here while I'm twiddling around. Looks like that's the magic part right there, magic ingredient. All right, let's crank it. Okay, on 200 watt scale, I can pin it pretty easily. 2000 watt scale. Nope, might touch 300 watts, but I can't get 400 on 20, so that's life. Maybe I do need some new finals in here. Those finals could also be tired, who knows. The fan is helping a lot. Okay, so let's go to 40 meters now. And 40 was even unstable in this thing. Let's see what this will do. Crank the load back. And go for some resonance here. Since I have no antenna, I can't hear much, but let's try it out. All right, it's got some power coming out here. A little bit, so not much coming out in 40 here. Not much at all. Well, I'm on 2000 watt scale again. Yep, okay, there we go. So 40 is cranking pretty good here. The trouble is I forgot to switch the scales and I get in trouble. Okay, we're just kind of coasting here, so no worries on the tubes. Okay, can we crank here? Let's see. What can we get here? Not much. Let's load it again. Okay, peek it. I can see why though people like solid state amps and equipment. Like, who wants to do this all day, right? Who wants to fool this stuff anymore? Okay, that's over 200 watts. I'm not sure I can get over 300, but a little more load. It's not rushing up to 300. Let's see. There's 2,000 watt scale on 40 meters. Give it a full punch here. 200 watts only, come on. Okay, let's give it some squirt here, a little more load. Nope, that's what it's gonna do. And I don't want to ruin the tubes, so much for that. Well, I did have 400 watts out of these same tubes on the other rig, so maybe some other stuff is amiss, I don't know, but it's not smoking, it's not burning, it's not catching on fire, so I'm happy. 80 meters. Tune it for noise. There we are. Load back. Let's see what happens on 80 here. A little bit of power. Not much coming out. Let's see, load it. Let's give it some juice. The 80's not looking too good right now at all. I'm probably on 2,000 watt scale. Yes, I am. Okay, that's the problem. That's why it looked low. Okay, a little more load. Too much load. Let's go back. Take that down. Let's see what 80 can do. 80 should have a lot of power usually. Usually 80 is your best band. Okay, nothing there. Go back. Oh yeah, let's pick it up. Let's take it down. Let's see what it will do. Anyway, it's tuning steadily, so these tubes are a huge improvement over the other ones. There's no more real harmonic stuff going on. On 10 perhaps, but not on the other bands. All right, so let's give it full carrier now, and nope, it doesn't pin on 80 meters. It doesn't go. So, what am I doing wrong here? Okay, that's not cranked. That's the problem. Oh yeah, she'll go. Okay. Let's see if we can crank this guy. I always try to flick that when the power's on, and it's bad. Oh, 200 watts. Let's see. Okay, now it's exceeding 200 watts. 2,000 watt scale, 80 meters. About 200 watts. About 250. Not quite the 400 I had on the other radio, but it's doing the best it can, isn't it? Well, it's going up a little bit. Let's see. Okay, all the way. What if I go to tune here? Not much difference. Okay, well anyway, about 250 watts on 80 meters, and that's about it for this video. So the going forward on this guy are buy new finals and put them in. Hope for the best. At least then it becomes a working radio that's useful. All right. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.